Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eric, and today's topic that I would like to discuss today is death. And this is going to be a pretty quick video about death. Uh, if you would like more information, visit jw.org and go to the Bible answers and then go to death or why we die. But this is just a small review of it. So if you'd like to learn more, then you can go ahead and do that. When we talk about death, sadly, everyone gets to that point. We die, and questions arise, and questions like why do we die, what happens when we die, where do we go, and etc. But to talk about death, we would really have to go back in the beginning. Now, it all started, if you're familiar with the Bible, it all started with Adam and Eve. And they disobeyed from eating from the fruit of the knowledge of good and bad, and when God gave them the penalty of death, and that is in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, verse 19, it says, "In the sweat of your face you will eat bread until you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." Now, from this statement that Jehovah God tells us, is strictly saying that from the dust he was taken, and that is true, he was made out of dust, and to dust you will return. But that wasn't the will of God. The will of God was not for Adam to live a couple of years and die. No, the main reason God gave him this judgment was because they had disobeyed. And God's purpose for the earth wasn't for Adam to sin. It was out of the context. But his main purpose was to create earth and fill it. Now, where can we find that? If we go to the prophet Isaiah, chapter, I believe, 45. Chapter 45, yes, verse 18 says, "For this is what Jehovah says, the creator of the heavens, the true God, the one who formed the earth, its maker, who firmly established it, who did not create it simply for nothing, but formed it to be inhabited. I am Jehovah, and there is no one else." This was Jehovah's main purpose for the earth. But sadly, Adam and Eve disobeyed. Now, why do we die? Well, if we go to the Romans, the Apostle Paul states it pretty clearly. We go to 5th chapter of Romans, verse 12. "That is why, just as through one man sin entered into the world, and death through sin, and so death spread to all men because they all sinned." Now, this statement clearly gives us that we all inherit sin. And with sin comes death. And there's another statement in 1 Corinthians, verse 15. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 22, where Apostle Paul says that all in Adam are dying, and which is true. If you remember, the prophet Ezekiel clearly states that Ezekiel chapter 18, verse, "Look, all the souls to me, they belong. As the soul of the Father, so as the soul of the Son. To me they belong. The soul who sins is the one who will die." Now, we all had sinned, right? Just as the 5th chapter of Romans said. Now, Ezekiel 18:4 clearly states that that the soul of the Son and the soul of the Father, they belong to him. And the soul clearly dies. Now, that clearly indicates that since we have sinned, then thus we will die. And that is the clear answer to why we die. Now, what condition are we in when we die? Well, Solomon in the letter in Ecclesiastes, chapter 9. Go ahead and go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Verse 5 says, "For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing at all. Nor do they have any more reward, because all memory of them is forgotten. Also, their love and their hate and their jealousy have already perished, and they no longer have any share in what is done under the sun. And it clearly indicates that when we die, we're not conscious, and we really don't, we're not there. And many so-called Christian denominations teach that some part of us, the soul, survives, but clearly Ezekiel 18:4 says that the soul dies. And now how can it be that we have an immortal soul? And the word immortal soul is not even found in the Bible. It is found for immortal, but it does not mean that it's something inside of it. It's something that we inherit. But the true Christians who get to partake of Jesus' heavenly kingdom have. They become spirit creatures, which is a number, and it's 144,000. But this is a different topic. Now, there's another verse in the Psalms 146:4. It goes out, he returns to the ground. On that very day, his thoughts perish. Now, his spirit. We have to remember that the word spirit can also be used in other ways. Now, what in other ways? Well, spirit can also be used as breath. Now, in Genesis, when God or Jehovah created Adam, it says that Jehovah blew the breath of life into Adam's nostrils. When did I say that? Well, go to the 2nd chapter of Genesis, verse 7. And Jehovah God went on to form the man out of dust from the ground, and to blow into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. Now, it says a person can also be called a soul. Now, it's obvious that it didn't state that he became an invisible, immortal soul. It did not state that. It said that he became a living soul, or a person. And that's how we get to the conclusion of why we die and why do we inherit sin, and what condition are we in when we die, in Ecclesiastes. And if you'd like more information, you can go ahead and visit jw.org. It's a really good organization. I think they do provide true basic answers for questions like the ones that I addressed in this video. And well, this is I'm gonna end my video here. Thank you for watching, and till next time, bye.